All right, Bob, lead us off.
Hey, Eric, congratulations. You look like you're in a better mood than you were yesterday. Just how exciting is this? I know you've been to the NCAA tournament before, but these players haven't. Just what's it like?
No, I think everybody's really excited. I mean, it's so interesting. On the bus ride today, I was thinking about got to play in 2 NCAA tournaments, was a part of 2 as an assistant coach in the 3 years that I was an assistant. This is now the 4th straight year as a head coach that I've been in it. So I've been a part of a lot of these, and every single one of them feels the same way when you see your name up there. And then every game's a challenge. I mean, you talk about Colgate at 14-1, and they got a great backcourt. Number 1, Jordan Burns is a guy that obviously runs the show for them, and 00, Cunningham and 13, Ferguson are 2 guys that we obviously are concerned with. And, this team, Colgate, can really, really score the basketball. They're second in the nation at scoring at 86.4 points a game. And they have an incredible assist-to-turnover ratio, second in the nation, and 8th in assists. So they do a great job of moving the basketball from side to side at 17.6 assists a game. And then their field goal percentage, they take great shots. They're 10th in the country in field goal percentage at 49.7%. And if you want to know how I know all this so soon, Coach Ruda had this thing nailed on who we were going to play. So we had a 5-hour bus ride where Coach Ruda was just hammering home Colgate. Can they please shut up over there? Hey, can you guys hold it down?
Scotty.
Hey, Coach, you got a lot of guys on your roster who are going to be playing in their first NCAA tournament, including Desi and Justin, and obviously your freshmen. And just how pumped are you for those guys to get this chance?
I mean, I told them before, the show came on, number 1, what an honor it was to know that we were playing in this tournament. And you can never, ever, ever, as a player, as a coach, as an administrator, as a booster, as a former player, as an alumni or a fan, you can never take for granted how hard it is to get into this tournament. It's really hard. And so I don't take it for granted. And then to earn the seed that we earned, you play all year to make the tournament, and then you play to try to get the best seed that you possibly can. And now we know from this moment on, anything's possible. That's why it's March Madness, and crazy things happen. We've got to do the best of our ability to start preparing. It'll start with a Zoom tonight with our team when they're in isolation. We've already got a scouting report planned. We'll continue to add, depth to the scouting report as we become more and more familiar with Colgate, a really well-coached team. We got to come up with some drills to defend the 3. We got to keep their guards in front of us. Can't let them get to the hole. Again, we got to contain, Burns and Cunningham, and they're an analytics team. They make threes, they make layups. So we look forward to the prep over the next few days.
Curtis.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. And you mentioned Ruda as the bracketologist a minute ago. I wanted to ask you about Ruda, the scheduler. You guys, caught a little bit of flack from some people about the non-conference strength of schedule early in the season. But as
not to interrupt, Curtis, but the good thing is the people that had negative thoughts on the non-conference schedule, I know exactly who they are. And obviously they did not do their homework at all.
Well, that answers my first question. If it's validating to see some of those teams make the NCAA tournament, and then as it turns out, you guys played well enough to get a high seed, and you draw one of those, tough mid-major opponents. So does it become even more beneficial now, that early non-conference schedule?
Well, I think that, the bottom line is when your staff is sitting and you got a spreadsheet that's got, 100 teams, what you're trying to do is you're trying to find teams that can win their conference tournament. And look, there's, when you're at a place like Nevada, that's the way to get an at-large bid. And, I think that the natural thing at a Power 5 is, well, let's just schedule other Power 5 and get 2 or 3 of those games. But there's a strategy to this, to think that we had 9 non-conference games, 4 of those teams are in this tournament. And then you add in the fact that, yes, we wanted to play some in-state schools, which we were able to. And then you think that we were supposed to play Oklahoma and Tulsa. We had a really good non-conference schedule. And again, I thought our staff, the crew that does all that really, really spent a lot of time and did a great job on it.
Jason?
Coach, you talk about your schedule. They had to really piece their schedule together, it looks like, this year to get to those 15 games they played. How do you scout this team, knowing what you know about their offense, with them playing, multiple games against the same team over and over again?
Yeah, I mean, I think all we can do is watch as much tape as possible. I'm fortunate that Coach Richardson brought a bike here that I can put in my room and just, pedal away. I'm sure I'll share that with you guys from my room tomorrow morning when I'm pedaling and watching some game tape, because I can't leave the room. So what better way than to burn calories and watch Colgate?
Kyle?
Hey, Coach, this program hasn't made a Sweet 16 run in a quarter century. You've made one before. You've led a team there. What does it take to win a couple games in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to just say one thing. We got to figure out a way to beat Colgate. And to win a game in this tournament is so hard. Every single possession matters. And if we have any other folk, I don't even know who else is in the bracket with us. I just know we play Colgate. And that's really the only thing that any of us, meaning our internal group, everybody else can have fun with the bracket. I'm sure my daughter will be filling one out. My wife will fill one out. My son in San Diego, who's on his way to Indianapolis, will be filling one out. But I'm going to worry about how do we beat a team that can really, really score the basketball and is a dangerous offensive team and a team that switches up its defenses a lot. How are we going to win the game? I don't even know what day we play.
And I think Desi's smile kind of said it all. Half your roster is from this state, Coach. Do you have a sense kind of what it means to those kids who grew up here and watch this team, to see this team, achieve something they haven't done since the 90s?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, I think for anybody that grew up watching the Razorbacks and for them to be in, I think it holds a special place in their heart. And they're so young, like they're going to look back at this for the rest of their life. I mean, I can picture every moment, my freshman year when we went to a tournament and played Princeton in the Palestra. To this day, I'm 57 years old, and I can tell you the meals we had. I still have a text thread with 8 of the guys that were on that team with me. This is going to be really, really special for all these guys because, again, you mentioned not many of them on this roster have been to a tournament, and it's hard to get into.
Bob, you want to wrap us up with Muss?
Yeah, Eric, Jaylen Tate should have gotten to play in this tournament a couple of times already, but he didn't get to because of injuries and then last year's cancellation. How happy are you for him? I know he's had some foul issues the last few games, but just what's he brought to the team this year? What's he done for you?
Yeah, I think Jaylen's been awesome defensively. He gets the toughest assignment every night. He's had some scoring nights where he's kind of carried us if we've sputtered offensively. But I think his biggest thing is just being a leader in the huddles, being a leader at halftime, being a leader pregame. The guys look up to him because of his, the winning mentality that he has, and he's a big-time culture guy for us. And he and Justin are 2 guys that I think certainly all of us, including the coaching staff, looks for from a stability standpoint, both in-game and then outside the lines as well.
When Justin got hurt, were you thinking like, man, this is really going to screw the season up? And, it did for a little while, but he came back and he's been playing great. Now he gets to go back. Now he's back in it. I guess you guys are in Indiana now. He gets to play back in sort of his adopted home state, I guess. What do you think about that? What do you think about the way he dealt with that injury and came back early and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, words don't describe the respect that we have. Obviously, he came back against Alabama and he was hobbling and was not fully healthy, but he did it for the betterment of the team. I think that, Justin's ecstatic with the way that this year has gone for him. He took a leap of faith to come here because he was so sought after by so many different programs across the country. And his mom, Lucy, is really happy, and Edward, his dad, is really happy with the way the whole season's gone, and we're happy for him. I mean, for him to be able to come back and play in the state of Indiana and NCAA tournament's a really neat story.
And then Anthony Ruder, he really told you, hey, I think the game's going to be against Colgate, or did he give you a couple options, or did he just?
Ruder gave me 3 options.
Well, what were the other 2?
I'd rather not say.
Okay, but I mean, were you confident he knew what he was talking about?
Oh yeah, I've been studying this stuff. I got all these notes right here. I have had notes upon notes sitting on the bus. I don't know if you can read that, Bob, but we got them right. There's that depth chart.
I can read a little bit. My eyes are, you
I might text you who the other. And actually, Hunter Yurachek, he also set his prediction a few hours ago. I got to go back and review and see if Hunter was right. If he is, Mike Kaywood will hit you guys with Hunter's prediction if he was right.
Okay, sounds good, Eric. Thank you.
See you guys.